Hey, welcome back. Hope everybody is having a great Tuesday, and thank you so much for joining me talking all things Masters of the Universe. Today on channel, guys, once again, we're doing another verse mode here, another MasterVerse versus Origins review today, guys. Today we'll be looking at HORDAK, taking this iconic character from both brands. Now, I've chosen the Emperor HORDAK from the Revolution show from MasterVerse right here, and we'll be putting him against his cartoon or filmation Origins variant right here. Taking a look at both figures right here very closely. Look at the artwork from both brands. And asking yourself, which brand do you prefer? Or figure do you prefer? Do you prefer the Masterverse variant here or the Origins variant here? All right. Now, if you are new to my channel or first time watching, I hope you'll subscribe afterwards. I hope you'll hit that like button. And thank you so much for doing that. Hit that notification bell when you upload new videos. And please share this video who has a passion and a love for collecting all things Masters of the Universe. Without further ado, let's take a look at HORDAK. All right. Of course, we did something very similar not too long ago with HORDAK. We compared the cartoon collection version of Origins HORDAK with his deluxe variant of the cartoon collection, or at least the Princess of Power version of Masterverse. And in that video, I did choose the deluxe variant of HORDAK in that Masterverse variant because of all the extra weapons and stuff like that HORDAK did come with. All right. Now we're doing something a little different. We're looking at a more seasoned, more darker tone, I feel, of HORDAK compared to the filmation version of HORDAK here. And of course, we'll take a look first at the Masterverse, right? Look right here, part of the Revolution show. Of course, there he is right there in packaging, right there. Of course, you have the 30 points of articulation, Netflix, the Mattel logo, all right, Masterverse, right there with the rocks blasting around it. All right, and there's old Emperor HORDAK right there, a much darker, I feel like a more darker, more, terrifying version of HORDAK here. He's got a scepter right here. There he is. And I would say a much older version of HORDAK, where this version of HORDAK has conquered worlds. He has moved on to Etheria and has conquered more worlds and enslaved more, people. And these right here are his, if you remember in the Horde Trooper now, Masterverse, they've done is they've brainwashed these captured, planets and brainwashed them into control of the Horde, as part of the Horde. And these Horde Troopers are those beings right there. Of course, you got the Master of the Universe Revolution, you got Emperor HORDAK. Very cool. A very dark, sinister variant of HORDAK here. All right. Of course, take a line shot right here. A nice glamour shot. And I really wish they, and I remember in that review we looked at, some time ago, I really wish we had that head sculpt right there. That looks very menacing, very gruesome. But there he is right there. There's Emperor HORDAK. The evil horde right here. All right, put it back around for a nice, gorgeous shot right here of HORDAK. The blend of real live action toy or figure mixed in beautiful artwork right there with some Horde like ships right here, and got the Horde tanks. That'd be kind of cool to get. If for Masterverse or Origins, getting a Horde tank like this, which we did see in the filmation cartoon, I think that would be an awesome vehicle to get in Origins and Masterverse too. All right, there's old Emperor HORDAK here. There he is. Of course, the cross cell. All right. And then the other side, just some more Horde Troopers. And of course, you got Motherboard right there. All right. Now on to the figure itself. And there he is. There's old Emperor HORDAK. All right. Very dark, very sinister. And the cool. I mean, very, very cool, menacing right there. Of course, there's the scepter right there. Looking very good. All right. Turntable on here. We can get a better look at him. All right. And let me know, please, guys, please, everybody, let me know what variant of HORDAK do you like? Do you like this version, or do you like the cartoon collection variant here? Ah. finger right there. We got the soft, good. Look at this soft, good cape here, beautifully done. He did come with extra hands, extra fists of fury. You can give He-Man or She-Ra a little bop on the nose right there. Great detail. This beautiful plastic, very, very flexible, cloak here. Now, one thing I will say about this version of HORDAK, like the other variants of HORDAK that, like the cartoon collection, he doesn't come with any of his iconic transformation abilities, his morphing abilities with this version. That's why I put them together, because they're a little bit more closely together, because this variant does not have, like I said, his morphing abilities, his arm cannon and stuff like that. Another thing I'll say about this version of HORDAK, even though it's very menacing, his movement of the head sculpt is very limited because of the point of his outfit here, his armor here. Very, very limited movement here on the face or head right here. I will say, got the Horde symbol kind of boots right there. Very, very slender, a very, like I said, a much more older version of himself. But the thing I do like is that dark tone, that very menacing dark tone of HORDAK here. All right. And also, I will give you my, which one I do prefer in the video here as well. All right, now moving on. Once again to his more familiar style. Sorry, excuse me. Of course, it's kind of fun. I have that version of HORDAK right there in the center right there. But we're going to be looking at his cartoon collection, or his Filmation version once again. There he is. More that we all know and, remember of HORDAK. Of course, you got the She-Ra 40th anniversary. Of course, HORDAK right there. Looking down of the Castle Grayskull. Like, of course, Grayskull is being attacked. You got the Horde Bats, the red, orange, and flames. The Eternia is on fire and being attacked by the Horde. HORDAK, the ruthless leader of the evil Horde. And there he is. There's old HORDAK from the Filmation cartoon. Cartoon collection. It did come with the Time Stop, which was a very iconic Princess of Power episode, where He-Man guest starred in that episode, and where even Loki, the famous magical elf, I guess, I don't know what Loki really was, but he was a being that, if you remember in the cartoon film, in the Princess Power cartoon, he would hide in a scene in one of the episodes, in the scene, and at the end he would ask you, like, did you find me? Of course, and then if you did, great. But this episode was a full-on episode of Loki, that his powers was the only one to move around once the time stop was activated. Even She-Ra or Adora was frozen in time, so she had to go, of course, to get He-Man. He-Man had to go find Adora, and then, of course, He-Man and his combined strength with She-Ra, stopped HORDAK in the time stop. All right, so a little brief little description of the episode here, but amazing, absolutely amazing right here of the Filmation variant of HORDAK here, right there. Of course, there is that called Loki lends a hand right there. That's the episode I was talking about. Of course, got Mantenna. That's the one thing I really hope we get Imp. I really do hope we get Imp at some point. I think we should have gotten him with this figure here, with HORDAK here. There he is, HORDAK. Got the time stop device right there, twist and power positions, and of course the cross cell. All right, moving right along here. All right, get it back down here. All right, and here is the leader of the Horde here, even Skeletor's boss, right there. Now I will say a much improved version of HORDAK, like if you remember from this variant right here in the back here, guys. The head sculpt, you can move more fully and move around. The head is not a part of the armor of, that we've seen with versions of HORDAK in the, in this universe for 40 years. So there's more movement, there's more detail in the face sculpt right here. It looks really good. All right. All right. But one thing that I am seeing and lacking of, and like I said earlier, with Emperor Hordak, this version of Hordak here does not, have any of his morphin abilities, his transformation abilities. With this version of Hordak, like his arm cannon, like that's the best thing I can describe. There's no you know cannon with this version of Hordak, like Emperor Hordak. Another thing is the lack is of the Horde symbol, on his on his side right, on his arm right here, on his boots, compared to, of course, the version right there. Sorry, the shaky camera, guys, right there. But the beauty thing about, Origins is that you can plug and play. You can pop off certain parts from, both these versions of Hordak, and you can come up with an iconic version, or more closely, with the blend of the toy line and the cartoon line, or the Filmation versions right here, the cartoon collection of Hordak, to come up with an amazing version of Hordak in your collection here. The time stop is just, this is a plastic little like spear. Nothing too crazy with the hand right there. But not to have, Hordak, like Emperor Hordak, with some sort of weapon of choice, is, I feel, a step down. And that's why I kind of put these two together, because they're so, in a way, closely, like I say, closely, the same in both instances. Where this is a much younger, version of Hordak here. I'll try to get him to stand up, guys. And I'm not going to turn the turn. There we go. So a much younger, version. He has not conquered worlds like the Emperor variant here that we see in MasterVerse. In fact, let me see if I can get him standing right here, I hope. And of course, his Emperor look right here. So I'll try to. All right. So there we go. All right. So who do I think is the better Hordak here? Now, there's no right or wrong answer, everybody. It's it's both amazing versions of Hordak here from two iconic brands here. Oh, it's okay. Oops. Hang on, everybody. Okay, I think we're good, and I do apologize for that. So, like I was saying, who do I think is the better Hordak here? His more dark, sinister variant of the Emperor version, or the more cartoon collection here? I would say, believe it or not, I would go cartoon collection origin. That just because I've seen more of him, his ability. Now, this version of Hordak, got injured. We know very little, about this version of Hordak, only from the Revolution show. Okay. Now the look is amazing. This is more nostalgia here. More, the feeling of that old school Filmation, which I grew up on as in the 80s. It's more, I'm leaning towards that variant of Hordak. Now there is some things about this Hordak I absolutely love, from the the soft good cape, the look of him, of Hordak. The outfit itself looks gorgeous, from the scepter here, or his staff. Very menacing, very, very dark, and I do like that version of Hordak. But speaking of what I do like, I will have to give it a very slight nod to the cartoon collection version of Hordak here. Very, very. I mean, it's jumping right. It's like the figure itself is jumping right out of the pages of the Filmation cartoon, and this one too. No, don't get me wrong. This one is coming out of that Revolution show as well. But I grew up with this version. I know this one more. I'm more comfortable with this version of Hordak here compared to his Revolution show. And who knows in the outcome of this episode, of this version of Hordak here in the future, of if this show will continue on Netflix. We don't know, because if you remember that post-credit scene, he's in this back to tank, being healed, and we saw a very different tone, a very different take on and this is something I really do hope. We get, I think her name is Despera, which is the more darker tone of Adora in those comics, where, she was more ruthless and more dark, like I'm sure she maybe, probably thought of Hordak as a father figure, in that comic book, being a part of a captain, or maybe more of a ruthless leader of the Horde. And I really hope that the Revolution show will continue with that, showing that more darker tone of Adora. I think her name, like I said, Despera. So or at least getting that figure, getting that more of that iconic dark tone, because it is She-Ra's 40th anniversary. Think about that. So if we get that version of Adora in that more darker tone, but who knows? Who knows what's going to happen with that show? I do know the steel book edition of the Revolution is now coming out very soon. That looks amazing. If I got to track that down, I definitely need to track that down to add to my movie collection of that show, of those shows and stuff like that. So like I said, moving back to these right here. Sorry. I would have to give it I would give this, my number 1 right here and my number 2 here. But let me know what your thoughts and feelings about this right here. What do you think is the better of the 2 Hordaks here in front of you? All right. And of course, we have so many versions of Hordak out there. We have, I might even do a future where I might do that sketchbook series, Hordak, the very first, drawing a version of Hordak compared to maybe his Turtles of Grayskull variant here, his more mutated variant here. See, which one do you prefer? There's so many, of this amazing universe that's just crazy, crazy, crazy. But let me know, please, at least right here in front of you, right here, which one do you prefer? Do you prefer the Filmation cartoon variant or the more Revolution variant of Hordak? All right? All right, guys, I'd like to take time, of course, to thank my subscribers. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys. I love doing these verses or these comparison videos here from both of these iconic brands of Masters of the Universe, from MasterVerse and Origins. All right. Of course, don't forget to hit the notification bell of new videos. And speaking of which, we'll be doing another versus mode. This time we'll be looking at King Keldar from MasterVerse, from the Revolution show, compared to his Rise of Evil Origins 2-pack figure here, a more younger version of Keldar here. So, all right. So please join me for that. All right. So, of course, I got some notifications. I did get a notification that if you remember yesterday, I do collect the Superstars line, and I do review that line on this channel from time to time. That's the Pure Wrestling Origins line that we look at, and I just got notification from Mattel Creations that has been shipped to me. It's being shipped right now as we speak. That is the Cody Rhodes and Dusty Rhodes exclusive 2-pack from the Superstars line. All right, so hopefully I'll have that in my hand very, very soon to review with you guys. So please, like I said, don't forget to hit that notification bell, please. Also, I just, and it's been shipped, picked up possibly the final figure of the Turtles of Grayskull line, and that is the Deluxe Super Shredder from off of eBay. All right. If you are curious about where I'm getting these figures, like Zodak, like the Vintage Collection Zodak, the King Hiss from the Turtles of Grayskull, or possibly the Skeletor, is eBay. eBay is probably the best place right now to look for. Now you're gonna be spending a little bit extra money, but not too crazy, and all you have to do is, of course, look for it in hand. In the seller's description, not a pre-order, in hand. And so if you're looking for something something like the Vintage Collection version of Zodak, or King Hiss, or the Shredder, look for them, of course, and look in hand. All right, you are going to be paying extra cash, but who knows? Especially with retail, when those figures are going to be coming out for all of us to collect for. I don't know. It's been, some of these figures, like even the Superstars line, feel like they should have been out a long time ago. So, your guess is as good as mine, But some sellers do, in some states, do have these figures available in hand. And like I said, you might have to pay a little extra cash. But if you want to get it, and not wait so many months down the road, to add to your collection, the best thing to do, of course, if it's up to you, to spend that extra cash, not much. It's not like, an arm and a leg. It's just like $15-20 extra in your, so it's up to you. But, all right. But speaking of which, like I said, the Shredder and the the Superstars 2 back are on their way. All right, I might have a chance to get at least the Turtles of Grayskull Clam Champ in my hands too in box. So a lot of things are going to be happening for the next few days, guys. So I do hope you join me. All right. So hope everybody has a great Tuesday, and I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Take care and have a good one, everybody.